All right. So last time we added some scrolling functionality, and off screen I added a scroll bar, like the visual representation of a scroll bar. I'll show you. Um, and I think what we'll do today is add where you can click and drag that bar. You know, you can grab onto it and slide it up and down. Um, and to do that, we're going to have to refactor a little bit of our event handling and what we pass to the windows, because we get events and then we loop through the windows and see what window the event happened on top of. And then if it hit the content portion of the window, not the title bar or close button or the drag handle, then we pass it to the window itself and let the window or the application handle it. And right now we're not passing all the events. We're only passing a couple, like the scroll wheel. That's how the scroll's working. And we're kind of doing this ugly if statement and redoing some logic through each type of event, like hitting the window. We need to do that, possibly hoist that up. Although I don't know if we can, because we need to check different. We have to check different values. Like if it's a mouse wheel, then you have to check the mouse wheel X and Y where it happened. And if it was mouse move, you check the mouse move, because we have that union on events. So you have to check the right struct in the union. But we'll take a look. Right now, all the scroll bar and scrolling functionality is embedded, or it's just kind of like in the log viewer app. But we want to extract that out into a more generic scroll bar widget, or scroll bar widget or node or something like that. And so right now it's very application specific. We'll hoist it out, make it generic for other apps to use, and that'll be the beginning of the UI library. And then we're going to move on to probably, I don't know if it won't be in this video most likely, but the next kind of steps are to start creating a UI library or layout library, and where you have a tree of nodes. So you have like a split, and then the left and right pane, and then in the right pane you split horizontally or vertically. I always say it wrong, but split it where you have a top and bottom, and in that you have some buttons and widgets and other things, but they're all nodes. They just have different types, because you don't want to. I don't think you should do a separate. At least my intuition, you don't want to do a separate type for the widgets, because you want them to be have a common type so you can have them in a tree. And then when you do rendering, you do like a layout pass and calculate the sizes, because if you have like automatic sizes like left and right or 50% or 2/3 and 1/3, you want to calculate that and then set the pixel sizes on each node. Like they'll have a rect, like X, Y, width, height, and then you'll traverse them again and render them. And then I don't know what you do for events. I guess you traverse. Yeah, I don't know what. We might get into like tree structures, because I don't know. You could just loop through them all till a rectangle gets hit, like one of the rectangles matches. But if you have a square with 50 buttons in it, then the square matches, and then I guess you narrow into each of the internal ones and see which one it hit, and so on. Traverse all the way down. But anyway, we're getting way ahead of ourselves. That's kind of the path that we're going right now. So this will be a little bit of cleanup, refactor. Maybe we'll extract this scroll bar as well. So let's just look at what we have right now. Oh. We don't really, our build system's been working so good, we don't really ever need to run make clean. It's just more of a habit, and this is also a habit, to make sure all our LSPs working happy and up to date. And you do that very rarely as well, but we're starting a new video. So now we have this scroll bar. I actually think it looks pretty good. I like it. I stole the idea from like old Mac OS. Like I think it's the Platinum theme It was backported to OS 7 and 8. But it's from 9, I believe, and then there's a black and white version of Platinum, which is it's similar to this. I just always thought I'd never really used that OS, but it looked good. But I would like to be able to drag on this thumb and slide it up and down the track, and we currently can't. So, but I'm pretty happy with that. It took a while. I actually recorded it and I ran into it. It would have been a boring video because I was. This is harder than you would think. And I ended up having to look back at an old project that I had AI help me with, like what I've talked about a couple times, but it was a few months ago when I was just messing around with Claude Code, building stuff like this, and just kind of testing out the idea before it triggered the idea to start this video series. So it is one I don't know if I could 100% do it from scratch again. It all makes sense, but it was a little harder than I thought it would be. Maybe just because I'm unfamiliar. So let's look at the code. So the state is only scroll Y, and I'm going to jump this to the top. So we still have our events. If we have a mouse wheel event, we update scroll Y, and then when we draw, the new code is essentially here. Where we have a track and we draw it, and then we have a scroll bar, or sorry, the thumb. And inside this function is where most of the logic is, and it's to determine where the thumb is. Close. I just put all these helper functions down here. So it's really, the track rec, it's pretty small. We just get the height and draw it based on the window. This maybe doesn't need to be based on the window. It probably should be based on a surface in the future when we extract this to a scroll bar utility or widget. It will probably change to a surface instead of the window. So this is the bigger one, and it's determine the thumb size. Like if there's more content than we can see, then you calculate how much you can see and base the size of the thumb on that, and then just return. It's just a rect. So I'm fairly, I mean, it all needs to be extracted, but I'm fairly okay, and I like the end result. I feel like the scroll bar looks good. So we want to now handle like grab events. Yeah, well, we want to have, we're only handling mouse wheel. We want to handle grab, but let's just take a look. This needs to be a switch statement too. But let's look if we even get those events, because I don't think we do. I should have done outside. This will be button. Button down. This is just a dumb little debug so we can see if we're getting anything. So mouse wheel, we can see we're getting those, but if I click, we get, oh, we are getting button. But we're not getting, are we getting movement? That's good, we already have one. We're passing that through. Mouse wheel down, what is that? Move. So click, wheel, movement, nothing. Okay. So what calls func event? So WS window event handle. This is just like a little tidy wrapper to make it look nicer than calling the raw function pointer. So what calls this? These two places. That's in mouse down. We don't do it in mouse up. We don't do it in mouse move, but we do it in, here it is again, we do it in mouse move. So we're kind of, this is going to expand. Well, maybe not. I don't know if the mouse wheel will expand past that. But we call this often for the window check, but this is where I was saying the different values, like the mouse. That seems wrong. Wow, we already had a bug. I don't know. Is it the same struct? I think that might have just worked. It might have worked because these are the union, the X and Y are in the same place. That's interesting. Well, not interesting, I guess that makes sense, but that's why we can't hoist this to the top. Is I want to, but each of these events need their X and Y from a different place. See, that's from move, this is from button. I wonder if, what if we pass in the, would it be stupid to pass in the event? You could get the X and Y based on the event type. You could almost do another function that was like, no, you'd want to pass back. Maybe let's just imagine, let's pass back a vec2 for X and Y. Event XY. Do we want to just do this? It's not a terrible idea, I don't think. We would basically say for the event and get the X and Y for each one. Then we could hoist this whole thing all the way up here. This needs to be an event. I kind of like that. I'm gonna just go forward with it for now, because I was gonna add vec types. That's gonna be a need to. So our vec types, vec 2, 3, and 4 are going to be floats. This is obviously integer, but do I want to create these integer types, or do I just want a WS position type that's like that? I don't want to have these use it as well. I like that they're, you don't want to keep nesting it deeper and deeper, but it kind of makes sense to be in here maybe. I hope that makes sense. I don't want to keep nesting because you already do event, union, and then pick one of these, or pick mouse movement, then position. I don't want to keep drilling down. But I do want some kind of mouse position. All right, let's just, where's mouse stuff? Mouse, just to match that above it. All right, let's just try it out. I don't know if it's even Windows Server. Is that an OS thing? It's an event, right? OS, mouse. It's kind of long. I haven't really thought this through too much, but I'm just gonna roll with it for now. Switch on event type. Let's go get all these types. And I wish it was like Go where you could return 2 variables, but what if, sorry, let's keep it simple for now. Delete. So we don't have to add any new types. So if it's mouse move, then alt mx equals so these are actually pretty close. So this is mouse button. That's mouse button. I don't know what to do here, but let's just make them in. No, -1 isn't invalid here. Wait, position XY? Yeah, it is. And 1. I'm just going to make a note there. Yeah, I want to be able to check that these are bad, so. Is that okay? So then we can get we're going to get these and just say -1. I guess, like, is it because it's not? All right, and then we can actually do the hit test immediately. Wait, do we want to do the hit test immediately? Because this could be -1. Maybe we'll just let it do it, because then we just. I'm just trying to think, if there's a window behind and you scroll over the window, but there's a window in front of it, do you still want it to work? I think we can deal with that later, because this brings it to the front no matter what. Let's just try. Let's get rid of all this. Are we doing this multiple times? Yeah, we can get rid of all of that. Let's just make sure we're working. Still getting in. Okay. Let's get rid of all this. Let's leave it, because we want to make sure we pass the mouse move. I just want to. We don't care about that, but we do care about this new function. This. And this. I just want a good base state to work from. And then you can see what the diffs for each one. So I don't know if it's worth. These might get broken out into other functions. I'm not sure yet, because we don't want this to be a million miles long. But if it's the main event handle, maybe you don't want to split it up too much. But you could have handle button down, handle button up, handle wheel, etc. So what if we change this to a switch? That did not work the way I wanted it to. And we're not even passing keys in right now, so like key events. Does that work? It's probably going to complain that we're not handling all events. That'll eventually have all events. And let's see if it works real quick. No. Implicit fall through. Are we not breaking on these? Break, break, break. Those could just return themselves, I think. That returns no matter what. This needs to return. All right. All right, so now the thing is we do event, then hit type, but we could hoist hit type to the outside because not only certain events care about certain hit types. Like if hit type, let's just see what it would look like. So the hit type's none. We don't care what the thing is. That's fine. If you're hitting the frame, we only care about, yeah, we only care about mouse button down. If no, I'm dumb, I'm sorry. Hit resize. So let's just get rid of what we don't need, what we've already handled. So rate. So this is also for mouse button down. It might be in multiple places. Hit Windows, just a special case. Yeah, these are still. I don't know that you need all those hit windows. You could do if WS hit does not equal none, then assert the hit window. But we could also you could assert window with one of these. Whatever. Okay, so this is button down. We're kind of done with button down. We don't care about none. These are button. If mouse button up, probably going to reorder these. This is kind of a trial. I'm not sure that I love this. That's up. Because if it stays like this, like not a ton of events, we pass most of it to the event, and so this doesn't change that much over time. Kind of like this, so you just got to care about what the hit is more important. I feel like we'll have to duplicate much less code this way. But if mouse button up, Oh shoot, if it's mouse button up, you always want to do this, no matter where it hits. That's a problem. Do we do the same thing further down? No. All right, let's leave that special case. This is drag type, not event type. This isn't. Yeah, I think it doesn't make sense. Some of this stuff needs to be related to an event type, not a hit type. This is not related to a hit type, so it doesn't make sense in the switch statement. So event type has to be the top thing. That's whatever. It's fine. It's worth a little experiment. So mouse button down, I think, is okay. Mouse button up, if we hit content, mouse button up is, we don't close the buttons till you release because you want to be able to click and move away, so that's why those are here. Hit content, though, we want to pass that through. Mouse move. So that makes sense. So if we have a drag window and we're moving, so if we have a window drag, then we move it around. But if we don't, do we want to even have an else? Yeah, let's just do an else. So we don't care about movement unless we got something down, or we're hitting the window content. We want to pass that mouse movement through, and we will care about this later too, not just hit content, because if we pass, this is great, because if we hit the close button or the maximize, we want to like change the color of it for like the hover, so this would be the perfect place for that too, which is great. This is OS event type. No, it's the hit type. Hit type. Is that not exhaustive? Let's do this. Let's make this consistent. Yo, I did that. That doesn't look right. This has still been something that I don't understand. Like in this switch statement, it doesn't make sense. In this switch statement, you don't have to. Oh, now we don't all of a sudden? What? What is this error? Label followed by a declaration is a situation. Well, what the hell else are you supposed to have there? Like, why does the assert make the error go away? I thought it was because you were creating a variable outside of its own context, but I'll save that for later. All right, well now we're getting move events, we're getting wheel. I kind of need to move. You can't really tell if you're still moving or not because there's no variation in what it is. So if we move out, then it stopped. Here it's not doing anything. So the frame's not doing anything because we're not hitting content. In the future we will. Okay, cool. That worked as expected. Or this can be changed to a switch as well. All right. Oh, it's mouse position from event. Let's undo this and just commit that separate. You could, we're not checking the -1 value anywhere, but you could do it doesn't make any sense because we're not setting it till down here, so now we could really just say this is passing mouse movement to Windows content. I don't know if we want to do this. Should we let it breathe a little bit? I don't love that we're asserting everyone. I don't think it's necessary. Yeah, I don't know why we wouldn't let some of these breathe. Let's see if we can get rid. Yeah, this is that error I was talking about. Oh, that's why. That's from like a parent thing. That's so stupid. Like, does this... Am I fried? Is it because previous definitions here? Okay. I don't know if I think I'm okay with just giving it its own. Yeah, who cares? Let's just give it its own context. Always so easy to get derailed and clean up. All right, so let's also get rid of all these hit asserts. No, let's see. They don't hurt me in there, right? Like, okay, so we need to track. We need to track if we click the thumb. Thumb grabbed, and that actually is a boolean. Thumb grabbed. That's a boolean. So if a mouse is down, we also probably want mouse up. No matter where we let go, that's false. And then here, if the mouse is down and we're on the thumb rect, what do we have? Graphics rect contains what? The scroll bar thumb rect. What's the X and Y? That's the event. Button. So if that's a little better. label followed by a declaration. That's different than the other one because we're not using MX anywhere else. The only reason I don't really like it, I like some consistency, but so click. Oh, release is because we're letting go no matter where we are, which is good because if you click here and then move over here to release, you want it to release. So grabbed, move, and I'm going to release over here. Release. Grab here, up and down, and then release. Okay. That's good. So we have grab and release, and then on move, we want to change the scroll Y. All right, I'm going to take a restroom break real quick. Just a second, get a tea. I'm back. One kind of thing I just realized I have that fan on my little space heater fan because it's kind of chilly. And I hope it's not too loud on the mic. If it is, I'm very sorry. All right. While I was taking a break, I also thought that for the move position, let's look at events real quick. Essentially, I was going to take. Let's actually do the code, and I'll show you the issue. So for mouse move, because we need to change the scroll Y, and also all we care about is Y. I don't care about horizontal scrolling yet. So let's. And this isn't mouse button anymore. It's mouse move. And what do we have on mouse move? Position X and Y. The problem is that's the position in the window. It's not the diff. Yeah, it's not the diff of where we were. So when you drag, you're just getting the absolute position. So you need to either get it from the event, a diff, and maybe, I don't know if SDL provides that. It might, like relative XY or diff XY from the previous frame. If it doesn't, we are going to have to track it. But I don't know if I really want to track that in every app. That seems like too much. So maybe we can pass it through. I don't know. Because imagine scroll Y. I don't know if it's going to be minus or plus yet. So let's just watch it break. This isn't going to work. Mouse move. Oh. We only want to do this if the state thumb is grabbed. Right? Which means, can we now remove? Yeah. What the heck is that about? If somebody knows, tell me. I'll look it up. I'm so tempted to go look it up right now on stream, but just in the docs. But let's not get sidetracked. Let's try that one more time. Cool. If we grab, so it is doing something. It's going too far though, maybe. That makes it seem like I'm not handling some. This gets clamped, like it can't go farther. But the content isn't. I'm going to need to do something there where if it gets a value too high, it has a max or min or clamp or whatever. I would love a print line so I can stop doing dash in. I have typos there almost every time. Yeah, see, that's absolutely, those numbers are going to scroll way too high. We want a diff. So let's look. Where's our OS? Let's look at move. So this is motion. What does SDL have? Motion event. Relative X and Y. So we do. What if it was just relative? I think that's worth having now. And we got enough room. X, L, Y. Move button wheel. I like keeping everything in the same order. I don't know if I like our, like if we do move button wheel, then here it's move button wheel. Oh, here it is, move button wheel. Here it's not. We need to reorder those later. But this is cool, so let's just change this to relative and see if we get better values. No way, is that easy? Well, not that easy. But that's, we're really close. Let's clamp that. Let's see if that helps us. The speed is off. Sweet. So we can't, now that we're clamping, we can't go over. That's awesome. That's where our bug was before, I guess, too. Same place. But how do I see how it's not? I don't like that. But I don't know. I don't know if like the size is going to make a big difference, right? The speed, because that's slow. The mouse wheel is moving slower than the handle, but if we go bigger, okay, we're still moving slower. I don't know what we want to multiply that against. This might be stupid. My quickest instinct before we like even have to think too hard. Where's our ratio? No, we need. I was thinking, what if this is just brain dead? I'm gonna try it out. This is always going to be 1 or 2, so I was going to multiply it, right, by the ratio, but that's a F32. We're gonna change. If this is just 1, the rounding's gonna blow it up. But the relative, like if the relative's 1 every time, then we're gonna multiply it, and it's gonna get rounded and not do what we want. But if the numbers are large enough, then I think it could work. Visible ratio. That's a bad variable name. Let's just try. It's just getting rounded too often. So let's Get rid of all that. Let's just see what kind of values we're getting. Yeah, see, they're so small. But but it's like I want to make it even less. And it's because we're multiplying scroll Y by the line height later on. What if we... Okay, so... We can't move the mouse more because that would affect mouse movement. So we have to slow down the scroll wheel. And if we controlled it, if scroll Y was like scroll Y, where are we setting this? What if we actually did... All right, just roll with me for a sec. Times like the clamp is going to be wrong. But stick with me. No. Wait a minute. No, that would stay. I was thinking that we could just track the scroll Y as the actual pixel position instead of the line position, which I still am not opposed to. But the clamp is going to change. Visible size, max scroll size. I mean, it could be length or height or something. Line count. Times line height minus that size. All right, maybe we're getting somewhere. Do I need to do the exact same thing here? So then this would be the same. I never liked this variable name anyway. Are these the same things? Yes. Oh, wait. This makes sense. This is going to give us a bigger number, essentially. Like we're going to get, instead of the line iteration, or sorry, right now we're tracking almost like the index into the lines. Now we're tracking the actual pixels because we're multiplying it by the line height. So that's what we're storing. So we'll have more fine-grained scrolling. Plus, then when we're adding the MX value, we will multiply it by the line height, and then we can multiply that by that ratio, because it won't be 1, it'll be like 8, 1 or 2, it'll be 8 or 16. So we can move it by a smaller amount. I think this max scroll size, I like these variable names a lot better. I don't know how they got out of sync. I mean, this might go way off the rails, but it doesn't feel crazy. Am I missing anywhere else? Scroll Y. Yeah, we don't need to multiply because this will be by the line height. So let's just see if this works a little bit. I think it's still going to need some tweaking, but if this is even close to what we're thinking, yeah, so we can speed up the scroll wheel functionality. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. And we'll change the line height to, we'll have like a variable like scroll speed. I think might be a better thing because then it can be more universal. And when per app you can, every app's not going to have a line height, right? Imagine it's just an image or something. So we'll need like a standard scroll speed or something. Right now it just happens to be line height. So my, and then this one is the one we can do my equals. We're back. We're going to turn it into an F32 and multiply that by, oof, we still need the ratio. I don't like that variable name either. Yank that and that. It's right here, right? Then we need the other visible ratio. We don't care about track height. We could probably use a function for that. Does that make sense? We're because visible ratio, say it's like if this doesn't work, we can have a wheel scroll speed and a drag speed instead. Maybe that's I don't know, let's just look. So we're scrolling. This is wrong, right? This is scrolling way off screen. Let's see what the drag does. So it kind of, I mean, it's still slower. I feel like where we're drawing the content is the part where it's getting messed up. This we already have this. We're already calling that something else everywhere else. And then the max scroll size can be size max scroll height. Let's just I just need some consistency here because we're doing this multiple places. Oh, view visible height. I kind of like that better. We already are defining that somewhere else. Yeah. I think something somewhere we're not respecting this change. Like we're still dividing somewhere, I think. Max scroll height seems right. Viewport height. Is the height of the whole thing. Then we have all our lines minus the viewport. So that's what's the max scrolls, like all the off-screen size. Viewport height, max scroll height. This, sorry, this is just like a little cleanup because I'm trying to get this consistent so I can move it to a function. So let's get all these. Viewport content height, right? This is the same content viewport. content viewport max, content viewport max. I feel like we're doing it somewhere else. Isn't there a third place? Yes. Content viewport max scroll. Content viewport max scroll. And I'm going to hoist this up for now. We don't necessarily, but again, I'm just going for consistency because I'm trying to find out where the mismatch is. I wonder why this isn't colored, but this is. Oh, see how here we're not multiplying this anymore by line height. That's for mouse wheel. Okay, so that's at least scrolling at a better speed. So where's our draw content? I hope this isn't one where you guys have to just scream at the screen because you can see it. This doesn't feel right. I don't even know what that's actually going to change, but it doesn't feel right. That was it. Sick. It's after all that, it's still slower. Holy cow. So I could just do a... Wow, we did all that for not much. But let's do one thing. Let's look at our scroll speed. We are jumping line by line, so it's not like smoother. But on other apps, it'll work better because we won't be doing it by... We're still doing stuff by line height. So this... Let's just look what's right and wrong. This is right. I like that. Oh, when I'm doing that, it's not tracking anymore because this window's being hit. I would like that to stay grabbed. We need to figure that out later. I need to slow the drag down. And there, that's why I multiplied it by... That's why I multiplied it by the visible ratio. Just because it's a ratio based on how size it is, I felt like it would slow it down. But what if we multiply it by the scroll speed. Let's just times 0.2. Let's just see what we're working with. So this is still the same. I'm okay with that. That's mouse wheel. That's way too slow. What if we do half? Well, that's pretty good. What if we go full screen? All right, we need a bigger file. Source. Let's go compile commands.json. Oh. I just want a much bigger file so we can... Oof, that is a problem. So what if we get rid of the ratio totally and just control it with this, which means we get rid of that. Do we need those other ones? Yes. So that's still fine. Let's scroll wheel. No, let's grab. All right, it doesn't. Now the mouse is moving more, so it needs to be. I don't know why I keep testing that. What is it? It's normal. All right. Oh, we need to go. Am I tripping? Do we need to go? So the mouse is too slow. The butt. Yeah, see, it's like. Let me rubber duck it. So it 2, when you're small, the mouse moves too fast. When you're large, the mouse moves too slow. So you need to. Is it the inverse of? Is it the inverse of this? That's way too slow. It's still way too slow. I think I'm just gonna switch back. I think we're close enough for now. Yeah, I think we'll just undo what we did. And I'm just like throwing stuff at a wall now. I don't. Mouse is way too slow. Mouse is way too slow. That means that this is going too fast. Wait, the scroll is going too fast, right? Ooh. Wait, I got pulled off. Let's... Ooh. All right. Okay, that's pretty close. And if we're small, that's pretty... Wow. It's moving just a little too slow now. There's no way that it's this, is it? Watch this be exact. It's pretty close still. What? It's a little too fast. This is a boring part of the video where you just tweak for UI, but see, it's a tiny bit. It's still a tiny bit too fast. This can't be just like a magic number, right? It has to be. Is 9 exactly right? We're in the middle. I mean, that's pretty freaking close. This is a cumulative, right? No, that's 4 something. You know, if that's like 40%, well, it's more here, but if it's like 10%, then you're dividing by 9, then dividing this. That's too much. I think I might leave it and leave it fix me. Yeah, I think I wish it was line height. I wish it was 8, and then it would kind of make sense. But I'll figure it out. But I think I'll get that figured out for us. All right, so let's we don't need that. We do want thumb grab. How much time we got? Hour 24. I wonder if I want to clean up these variables. What do we need? State and window. Wait, you only need window. You don't need, window has state. Do we need this in 2 or 3 places? Like, is it worth doing a function for 2 places? Does it not like that because that variable's the same? I'm not going to leave this named get, but let's just see if it works. And we're shadowing the variable name. We need the content. Okay, I'm cool with that. We didn't actually get to abstract it, but we added the scroll bar. Got the speed dialed in, and I'll have a to-do. Can I start adding notes? Centralized template. Let's go to where fix me. So I think I can later do no note. Is there project notes? Did it add a notes? Yeah, it did. All right, well, we'll figure out that later. Oh, no. Project notes. There's a way to do it. It might be useful to have that in the future. I don't see it. All right, whatever. All right. Kind of a ugly diff, but not crazy. I do like that we made all those variables consistent, and the get variables. I don't want that pattern. I don't know if I like that, but it's fine for now. All of our other like helper functions are down below. I like people to be able to come in and see event draw close in the startup at the top of the file, like prioritize the important stuff up top, and these helper functions go down below. This is nicer to get in here and see what the app is doing. Yeah, I think that's better because those are the important ones, like what's the events that it's handling. Even the constructor isn't as important. You don't really care. You care about what its events are and its drawing. So putting that up at the top and all these helpers down at the bottom. All right, so I think our next order of business will be creating a scrollbar widget, the next one. And I'm hoping that getting rid of this line height everywhere and tracking the pixel position will help us in the future, because we don't want to tie it to line height like that when we extract it, obviously. Add. I think that's good. All right, cool. I hope the audio was all right. See you next time.